I starred in a movie called The Second Chance that came out in 2006.
Two scoop.
Sorry, I was told to give one. And then I just filmed a movie called 90 Minutes in Heaven that I not only acted in the movie, but I'm writing the movie score with my son Tyler for that movie, and that comes out this fall. Bono. I've known Bono for about 12 or 13 years through one campaign to alleviate poverty around the world, and that's how we connected, and we've been friends ever since. And he made a special appearance on my last Christmas album that came out last year, which was fun. So yeah, it's been awesome to stand back and watch him do what he does not as a member of U2, but just what he does for the world, and he's got a good heart. I've been in church my whole life, which for the most part has been a good experience. I started a church with my wife back in 1999 called New River Fellowship. I pastored it for a couple of years, and now my son-in-law Jack pastors the church. I learned a lot of patience as well. You have a few segment of people who want to complain, and so that was probably the hardest thing for me, of just stirring it up and being a complainer and lots of gossip and all that sort of thing, which I don't believe has any place in church life. So that was the hardest thing. I came out alive, so I'm here. He's my greatest role model. It's been pretty amazing to watch him love on my mom all these years. He's been faithful. He played baseball with me every day because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a professional baseball player. And so he was just always there for me. My dad is sick, and he's got dementia. And it's a little hard chapter for us, but God's still good. He still knows who I am. But things are not like they used to be.
God is a lamp to my feet and a light unto my path.
I love Europe. I love playing here. I love playing Eastern Bloc countries. I love playing Germany. Been here many times. And it's good to be back. I mean, I can almost remember every show I've done. So I don't know what it is in America. Sometimes you feel like we have everything, and there's so many shows, and you come overseas and everybody seems to be really, really excited that you crossed the pond to come and be here, and I love that.
And when I feel afraid and I think I've lost my way, still you're there right beside me.
Most important thing in my life, got saved when I was 10. But it took faith to do that. It says it's impossible to please God without faith.
And nothing will I fear as long as you are near. Please be near until the end. Oh.
He's a good man. You might have people who might disagree with his policies, and he's got a great heart. And I was one of the very few fortunate ones that happened to be one of his friends to see that side of him that was this caring soul. I mean, I always wanted to tell him, why don't you show that side of you on TV as the president? I don't feel he didn't show that side much. He was always a tough guy, and a lot of stuff going on, terrorism and 9/11 but I know from experience and being his friend that he's a good soul, and he still is doing a lot of amazing things for people.
A rebel heart, a restless soul. I lost my sight
there's two holidays. Easter is the most important holiday of the year to me. You know, it's the celebration of the greatest miracle of all. And then I'd have to go to Christmas because it's such a huge family time for us. And Christmas is a huge deal around the Smith house. With 5 children and 11 grandkids now, it's insane in a good way.
I lost my sight, I lost control.
There's American Idol, if you want to tune into American Idol. I've had a lot of people go on tour with me that have been in American Idol. I don't have an idol, I have a lot of heroes. Well, my dad's my hero. Billy Graham is my hero. My musical hero is a guy named John Williams, who has written all the soundtracks for Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's my biggest musical influence.
You found a way.
Whew. He really is who he said he was. He's either a lunatic, he's completely insane, or he's really who he said he was. And I believe he really is who he said he was. And I think he's coming back. And because of him, I'm one of the many walking miracles in this life.
Your miracle is burning bright in me.
Kids, man, I love being a dad. It's really a lot more fun being a grandfather. It's not as much work. You know, the 5 kids but hey, even with all their work, it was great. And I've always been crazy dad. You know, I'm the wild, crazy. You know, while all the adults are having an adult conversation in one room, I'm usually on the floor with all the kids or grandkids, sort of becoming some monster or whatever and being crazy. Or
Impossible. War was lost.
love. I'm in love with my wife. 33 and a half years we've been married, and she's awesome. And we're probably more in love today than we ever have been. How about that? You know what? I don't think I ever had one. I remember when I was 40, I went and bought a convertible and thought that was a midlife crisis, but I don't think that was one. I don't like big crowds. I don't like malls. Most of the time, I don't really like, I don't like to be the center of attention, which happens a lot because of what I do. But off the stage, that's the last thing that I want to be, is the center of attention.
Should've ridden the wind, should've ridden the waves, always.
Wow, going back a ways. The Big Picture record, I think. Yeah, I love that song, and I just remember writing that song out of several letters I got from girls. Interesting they would share it with me, but just this whole pressure of sex and all that sort of thing, and guys putting pressure on girls, and was so appalling to me, I love pop music. I have my whole life. Ooh, Michael Jackson, Thriller, Dangerous. Elton John, the old Elton John records are my favorite, which is a big influence on my life. I've done pop music my whole life, since I started. We did a worship record, and I did some worship albums. I've done instrumental records, but I'm still a sucker for a pop melody, for a hook. Every day. Like, why do I struggle with this? And why do I feel this way? Why can't I conquer that thought? Why is my dad sick? Why did that guy get healed and that little girl at 5 years old died of cancer and we prayed for her just as much as we prayed for him? Those are my big questions, and sometimes we get answers, but most of the time we don't, and those kind of things, especially when it comes to people being sick. At the end of the day, going, okay, God, you're in charge, so one day we'll find out why. Town is a song on the Big Picture record. And then we took that name and I started a safe place for kids in Nashville, Tennessee, with an indoor skate park, a music venue, and drama studio, music studio, art studio. Just love on a bunch of kids who come from very, very troubled homes. It's the new record. I love the title. I love the song. I think it's a great song, and I can say that because I didn't write it. So I'm off the hook ego-wise. I think it's a song for our time, and especially for people who are going through hard times. But I love what the song says, even what the enemy means for evil, he turns it for the good. And I believe that. It might be hard to believe that when you're right in the middle of the suffering and right in the middle of the conflict. I'm on a world tour again. I'm back in Germany. Just came from Amsterdam. Going to Spain tomorrow. South Africa. Nigeria. Tokyo. Brazil. Ukraine. It's like a calling, you know. I'd rather stay home. I mean, let's just stay home, hang out. But I'm hitting in my sweet spot. This is what I'm made for. And for some reason, I got called to the nations. And here I am. I mean, honestly, the one thing that really I think about and I'm racking my brain is I go back to when my wife and I found out that she was pregnant with number 5. You know, we had prayed for her to get pregnant because she wasn't able to have children. The elders prayed over us, and then all of a sudden and all of a sudden there's 4 kids, and I said, all right, this is unexpected. We're going to have a quiver full. That's probably one of the craziest unexpected things I think I can remember. Maybe everybody would want me to mention all the awards, but I probably would never go there. I think my greatest victory is that I've survived success. That's my home state, born and raised, a little town called Canova. It's a beautiful state. A lot of poverty in West Virginia. It's pretty depressed there, you know. I try to go back every once in a while, but it's a beautiful state, and I loved growing up there. Well, I have to go back and say it's my favorite time of the year. And I love Christmas music, so if you want to take it from that angle, I mean, I pulled out the Christmas records every September 1st when I was growing up and played them till January 15th. Ask my mom and dad, they'll attest that I'm telling the truth. And then even at 10 years old, 10 or 11, I remember talking to my sister, true story, if I ever get a record deal one day, I'm going to do a Christmas record. That's how much I love Christmas music. So I obviously got a record deal, did Project, all these records, and then I've done 4 Christmas albums now. I feel pretty young, actually. I know I'm not. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my genes. I just choose to feel and live young. I've kind of felt that way for a long time. I take care of myself. I work out. I eat right. And then I think it's all how you look at life and the kind of things that you participate in. Like, I don't stress. I don't watch the news and go, oh my gosh, the world's falling apart. And I choose joy over despair. And I think that's what's given me my youthfulness a little bit. Shusha, Vater.
Warum kommst du ausgerechnet nach Heilbronn? Finden wir total genial, weil wir nur eine Stunde weg wohnen.
I got invited. You know, I get invited to go all around the world. Most of the places I go, I have been invited. There are a few places I've told my agency that I want to go there. Whether they invite me or not, I want to go there. You know, Argentina is one of those places that I feel like I'm supposed to go to. But we got the invite to come here, And I said yes. Here I am.